Have you ever actually, you ever see the history and the files of what Osama bin Laden had on his computer?
No, that's intriguing.
He had some really whack stuff, especially episodes of Naruto. That's not fake. I can look it up. Hold on.
Bro's like, let me get Naruto in here.
Welcome back to Nearly 90's. It's episode 5. I think. Yeah, yep. Right? Episode 5.
Episode 5.
Okay. And we got a list of topics we want to talk about today. So what's up?
Yeah. All right. So we got, for the news today, we got Joker 2 started filming. We got a Across the Spider-Verse trailer. We got some stuff happening with Mappa Studios, a Japanese animation studio. We got some stuff about Henry Cavill and Wonder Woman, and also a live action My Hero Academia. And then after that, we're going to go into a little review on, was it 1966 Batman?
The Adam West movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just jump right back into this conversation. Okay, so Joker 2. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, it's a musical with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
What? It's a musical? You know more than me.
It's a musical.
Wow. Okay. This... Just what? All right, listen, there is one thing that I can't stand in this world.
Musicals?
It is fucking musicals.
You've never seen The Blues Brothers then? That is an incredible musical.
Listen, I have seen... Is that the movie, The Blues Brothers? Is there a movie, The Blues Brothers?
Yeah, it's a movie / musical.
I think the movie is fine. I've seen the movie. It's fine. They, I think, very tastefully added the musical into the movie.
Yeah.
But I hate musicals mainly because I don't like people singing about their expressions or their feelings.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I get why you feel that way just from the scene I just watched, you know, and how you present yourself. I shouldn't have to be listening to you babble on about one emotion for a whole song. That's my problem, and that's what I've seen most of the time when I go to fucking... Maybe that's because I've just seen not official musicals and not like The Lion King on Broadway or some shit. All right, maybe I would be amazed by that, or some shit like that. But I just do not like musicals.
Clearly, you've never listened to "I Don't Dance" from High School Musical 2.
I hate High School Musical 2.
Why specifically 2?
I hate all of them, but I hate High School Musical 2 because my sister had the soundtrack.
Same.
And she would play it. And then I didn't know it was High School Musical, so I would play just one track off it that I thought was badass. And it was the track of, I think, was that the one where they're in summer? And he's like all edgy and in all black clothes singing and talking to the water, Zac Efron.
Oh, yeah. He's on a golf course.
Yeah, that I was like, damn, this song's cool. But then I actually like looked at the DVD, like the disc. I was like, oh no, I can't let anyone know about this. It's too late now. I already told the whole world. But
no, but it was recently re-revealed to me by a coworker that had to explain to me the dance sequence of I Don't Dance, where, you know, what's the main antagonist, the one girl, she has like a gay brother, but they don't say it's gay because it's a Disney movie in the 2000s. But he's playing baseball up against this one guy who claims, he said the whole theme of the song is I don't dance while they're playing a game of baseball. And essentially the lyrics and what's happening is this back and forth, basically being symbolism of I'm not gay, I don't swing for the same team. And he's like, come on, swing for the same team. And that's basically the underlying theme of the song. Like, it's not about not dancing, because dancing is also a term used for sexual implications too. So the fact that they're on a baseball field trying to convince them to swing for the same team while talking about not dancing, and then the cherry on top is that at the end of the song, it cuts back to the normal like plot of the movie, and they're wearing each other's clothes.
What? Oh God! So what it's basically implying is that they banged. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I have nothing against it. Good for them. Be yourself. You know, as long as you're a good person at heart, I don't care what you put in your mouth. You know.
Oh God.
But no, Joker 2, I am perplexed that they went this route. Like, they're like, okay, let's do a Martin Scorsese movie for the first, Joker. You know, it's going to be the comedian, but also Taxi Driver. And then now it's a musical?
Yeah. At this point, it feels like they're just trying too hard to do, I don't want to say edgy, because it's not like they're just being edgy. If they wanted to just keep being edgy, they could just be doing the dark Joker thing they did in the first movie. Mm-hmm. But maybe they're just trying to be way too out there.
That could be it. Yeah, maybe they're just, I don't know. I feel like they're still going about it the wrong way. Like, I'm not going to watch this if it's a musical. Like, seriously.
That's all I've heard is that it's a musical.
Well, then you've heard it here, folks. I'm not going to fucking watch Joker 2. I will just accept that Joker 1 is a one and only movie.
I mean, would it be interesting to have a musical based around, like, okay, if it didn't have, I get the musical theme because Lady Gaga in music, but if you cut her out, I feel like having a musical about just straight up incel life, loner incel, would be intriguing in its own regard, albeit really messed up, and I feel it could get a lot of mixed reception.
I feel the same. But that's the same thing as like I just don't want them singing about. I don't know. I hate musicals. I don't know what it is, but if there is one truth in this world, it is not that all Ricks hate Mortys or some shit like that. It is that Bryce hates musicals.
It's got to be like the thumbnail art is taking like High School Musical and burning it or something.
It's just me just like throwing a bunch of musicals in the bin.
It's just like a Fahrenheit 451 burning a pile of books, but it's a bunch of iconic musicals.
The Lion King. What is that one?
Okay, you can't like yeah, that's true. If you don't like musicals, that means that you just straight up don't like Disney, basically, or standard Disney animated originals at least.
I'll say this: I would rather watch, what is it? I would rather watch Hamlet than The Lion King.
But what about The Lion King 1.5?
Fuck that shit too.
What?
Listen, that shit's nostalgic for me from my childhood. I remember the movie, but I could care less.
The Lion King 1.5 is like debatably Disney's magnum opus.
Listen, all right, it's okay. I like the idea that they were going with.
Yeah,
but
do you remember? I don't know if I want to keep this in. We can make up our minds or not. You remember Timon's mom?
Bruh, were you bad for her? Hobie was bad for Timon's mom. Anyways, let's just keep moving on. Do you want to see a Joker? I have a screenshot from Joker 2. Do you want to see it?
Part of me wants to go back and defend Timon's mom.
Listen, we're just gonna move past it. Listen,
look, I'm not saying it's her visually. It's the energy.
It's the energy. All right.
You know what I mean?
I'm just gonna let it slide. I'll let you have it. All right. You know what? Her voice. She was a good voice actor. I'll give it to you.
I don't even.
They're just shaving him.
Okay.
That's cool, I guess.
That's all we have for Joker 2.
That's all we have for Joker 2. Is they're shaving his face. That's fair. No, I got you.
I'm so sorry, by the way. We probably have so much shit in here that's like you might have to cut out.
Nah,
we talked about 9/11 for 5 minutes before getting to the main topic. What are we even on tonight? I'm so sorry. I'll have to give you some money or some shit for the editing for this one because this isn't as simple as just make our audio sound good.
Nah, at this point, it's just what it is. Oh man! All right, okay. What about the Spider-Man and Across the Spider-Verse trailer? What'd you think of that?
Well,
man, the trailer for that, I don't know. It feels like it's going really out there, and I don't know why. Like, it's not like I'm not excited for it, but I don't know what's gonna happen in this movie, and I guess that makes me scared and excited. Like, I like the first one, Into the Spider-Verse, a lot. That one put tears to my eyes almost. But
okay.
So I don't know. I hope they do something really. I know they're gonna do something cool with the story, but I hope that it's not just like Spider-Man mania. Like, you can have that for a little bit, but
have a cohesive plot, not just like the chaos of a bunch of Spider-Men.
Yeah, which is like they're already splitting this thing into 2 parts.
Is it just is the whole plot literally just Spider-Man 2099 doesn't like that he fucked with the multiverse, and that's the whole plot of just like you're an anomaly in the multiverse and I don't like you?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's it.
Why is Spider-Man 2099 have a fucking wedgie about that shit? Like, why him of all Spider-Man? Wouldn't it be like a Madam Web situation?
You would assume, but maybe it's because like he has futuristic technology that it starts messing with his future. Well, Spider-Man, I don't know.
Spider-Man 2099 is from the future, but he doesn't have time travel capabilities in his comics. It's like he is.
Yeah, I guess not in the comics.
It's like he's from the future, but that doesn't mean he has future tech or some shit.
But if you also consider the games, have you seen Edge of Time?
I think so.
So in Edge of Time, there is a way they like kind of figure out time travel or some shit.
Okay.
So in the future, so that's what that whole thing is about. Is like they're linked like between time, like both the Spider-Mans, and then one Spider-Man has to go back in time to save the other Spider-Man. So and then they get reversed in their roles. So now old Spider-Man's in the future and new Spider-Man's not in the future, in the past. And it's a really cool way of going about it. So I mean, it's not like he wouldn't. I feel like if you've seen the video games or whatever, it would kind of give you that notion of, okay, he can travel back in time.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to think... excuse me. I'm not going to think too hard about the plot. It's probably going to be pretty standard, honestly. It's, if anything, like you said, as long as they don't just make it Spider-Mania or some shit, it'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I really do have high hopes for this, though, because I like the first one so much. Like,
yeah, and it really did stay on like this tightrope of like, there are times where I'm like, this feels like anything more and it's gonna be too much, like especially with like what's it, like the anime robot Spider-Man girl, where I'm like, this is getting very close to the sake of too random, but it just walked the tight line.
Yeah, no, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
which I always, because I think the best Spider-Man movies have a clear love for the character, and that's, I think, at least mostly apparent in most of the Spider-Man movies. I think in Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, you can definitely tell that there's a love for the character. I think in Amazing Spider-Man, you could kind of tell, all right, Mark Webb's in love with these characters, but Sony is not giving a shit anymore.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, that's cool. I don't know. I could see that the director or whatever liked Spider-Man Homecoming, but I don't know. I feel like he was just there to be the guy to direct, He didn't have a love for the character.
It was just like, here's where this character needs to go. This is probably what like some Marvel or Disney workers probably said, like, this is where the character needs to be. Get him there. And he just did.
Yeah, I honestly think, like, I'm pretty sure, John Watts was the director. I'm pretty sure he cared more about John Hughes movies than Spider-Man. Like, with all the references he put in that, like, All right. Where are the references to the comics? Okay, you put the Prowler in. Cool.
You're talking about Donald Glover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's apparently going to be back, but not as the Prowler.
Why even put him in then?
Hold up. Someone sent this to me the other day. It's, he's going to be some really obscure ass villain that's probably going to be a funny little throwaway.
Okay.
Let's see. Where's it at? I'm going to scroll up. I don't think it's too far up my feed. It's either from one of my friends or the other. God damn it. Now the awkward silence.
Don't worry, we'll cut this out. Or maybe we'll just keep it in for the sake of the viewers. Yeah, what do you guys think about 9/11? Golly, man.
Thoughts, opinions, Israel or Pakistan?
Listen, like...
Palestine, I said Pakistan.
We are sober. That's the thing.
That's the sad part.
Like, I feel like we were more calm and collected when we had brewskis. We should just call this episode, Bryce and Jonah Unhinged.
We become unhinged.
Bryce and Jonah finally break.
Okay, here it is. And this has to... Okay, no, this has got to be a joke. It's sent by my friend who isn't even into comic stuff. This is just a load of bullshit. Donald Glover will reportedly star in a Spider-Man villain movie... Wait. In a Spider-Man villain movie based off a Hypno Hustler?
What? Why would they change him?
That's not real. I can't be real. Look at the person who posted it. It's called Punished House with a picture of the guy from House with the Joker's makeup.
Oh, no. Yeah.
This is not real.
I don't know if that's real.
No, it's not.
Dude, that's fair, though. Man,
God, what are we on?
Sony hacks. Dude, those are a thing. Those are a thing and a half.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, now that we're done... No, we're not done. Who am I kidding? Descending into madness. What's the next one?
So, the MAPPA, a Japanese animation studio famous for doing Attack on Titan Season 4, Part 1 and Part 2, and Chainsaw Man.
So, they're making One Punch Man Season 3?
Doing One Punch Man Season 3.
Yeah.
It's not like I was okay, so let's go over One Punch Man a little bit. One Punch Man, the story of it, I don't know, it's just pretty much about this one guy who's completely strong to the point where he doesn't feel anything in battle and longs for a day where he can have a proper battle with someone. That's pretty much the character, right? I don't even know the full on story yet because there's so many overarching things that happen in there. But season 1, I thought was pretty good. What did you like season 1?
One Punch Man?
Yeah.
One Punch Man is that anime for me where I rewatched season 1 like a dozen times, but somehow never got to watching season 2.
Don't worry. Like I would say once season 3 comes out, get around to watching season 2.
Yeah.
Because I do believe it legitly is just all set up for season 3. Like, it's weird that they did it that way, but I don't know.
I find it weird that, like, were some of the complaints that the story doesn't get very interesting because he has no, like, threats? Like, I don't know exactly what the complaints were in season 2 since I didn't watch it.
I mean, do you care about spoilers?
It's just because there's not fight scenes or anything.
So most of the fight scenes, when they happen, they're over like within not even 30 seconds. I would say like less than that.
But
sometimes.
he's One Punch Man. The whole
that's
point.
That's the thing. One Punch Man is barely fighting people in the second season.
Okay.
Like he maybe, like, all right. So he goes into a tournament, and and that's what you see. You maybe see him like just knock a dude to the side or something, like because they touched him in the ring or whatever, some comedy stuff like that. But like, you know, he doesn't fight any of like the main threats of season 2. So it's like seeing other superheroes of that universe or whatever.
Okay.
And that's what it was kind of weird because, like, wouldn't you expect the battles to then go on longer?
Yeah, I guess you're right in that regard. I thought that part of it was coming from the fact that people were like, oh, well, he ends fights so quickly. But I'm like, that's kind of the fucking point because he is One Punch Man. But even so, if they wanted to make it interesting in that regard, like, I don't know if they would, because, like, realistically, a character that can beat anyone in one punch, you can still write villains for. It's just called, like, a psychological villain, a clever villain. You know what I mean? Like, it's Lex Luthor versus Superman. Well, actually, it's not the best comparison. Maybe, like, a Riddler to Batman. You know, Riddler can't fucking beat Batman in a fist fight, but that's why he's a Riddler. He comes up with scenarios to become a villain in his own right. But you know what I mean? In that regard, like, how do some people beat fucking Superman? They outsmart him. They become a different type of villain to him, not try to beat him in a fight.
Yeah. I will say this. He does go up against one of the main threats, but again, just tosses him to the side right away and then goes on his own story.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. It was kind of a disappointing season 2, but...
Yeah, well, maybe Mappa will make it really good.
I really hope so. Like, considering what they've done with Chainsaw Man and Attack on Titan, I'm pretty excited to see what they did. What they will do.
Yeah. Well, is that really all there is for One Punch Man? Did you enjoy One Punch Man as a franchise up until this point? As a whole?
Yeah, I would say for the most part, I definitely, like... It is one of those, like, things that I could just binge watch and just, like, all right, whoa, I'm already done with season 1. All right, I'll go on to season 2, but then I'm like, oh, it's season 2. So it's again where it's like it's good, but I wish they would have done something differently with season 2.
How do you feel about Food Wars? You gonna give that a watch?
Man, I don't know if I can. I watched the first episode and I couldn't get past.
That's not fair. He doesn't even get to the school in the first episode. But the whole point is when he gets to the school.
But
that's when the plot actually starts.
He's all on this, like, try my peanut butter and tentacle soup. Like, why?
That's just when he makes, like, gag food.
Like, but I don't know.
You haven't even gotten to, like, the part where he's, like, cooking, like, fucking 20 omelets at a time, and then they make it look like an epic Dragon Ball Z fight scene as in what he's fucking flambeing a pork chop or some shit. and then when they eat it, all their clothes fly off and it turns into hentai.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, why do that? Like, I get you're accentuating the food, right? But
it's also, I guess you could call it a reference to the actual writer of Food Wars was an ex-hentai artist.
Oh.
So he was a hentai artist prior, so he had a little experience in that, and he put it to use.
Oh, man. Oh.
Come on, it's hilarious. I don't know. I mean, I guess you also have to like cooking enough, because I really like cooking, and it's so bizarre how fine the detail is on like what they're cooking, and like they're not like spewing bullshit at you. You know, like when you're watching, I'd say, a sci-fi anime and they're just hurling out random sci-fi bullshit that doesn't even make sense. It's like they're like taking the food down to a fucking molecular level to a point where like you're like, who the fuck knows this much about food? But it's actually true.
Yeah. I remember him talking about, what is it, like he made like a potato or something? Or
yeah,
like
the potato pork chop.
Yeah, and he like drizzled some juices on it that when he heated it activated the something on the molecular level, and I was like, what the hell?
That's them explaining the new jutsu. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Listen, I might give it a watch. I think I'm starting to hit my precipice, my magnum opus, where I am just starting to like, I need to jump away from anime for a second.
You're becoming too much of a degenerate.
I think so, yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I did catch up on My Hero, so I can say I'm about the same there. I've even fallen to Slice of Life, so.
Yeah. Listen, I watched Uzuki-chan wants to hang out. Like, what is more of a slice of life than that?
I'm watching Fruit Baskets right now, or Fruits Basket, sorry, before I get hung by a mega weeb. But
Minor.
yeah, I'm watching Fruits Basket right now.
My Dress Up Darling was pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't get it. Like, dude, I'm a cosplayer myself, so I fucking related with that shit hardcore.
We are too far gone, aren't we?
Yeah. No, we Okay, moving on. Henry Cavill is out as Superman, guys.
You didn't even take my Hero segue that I gave you.
But that's like at the end. And, all right. Anyways, dude, I'm cutting this all out. Speaking of My Hero Academia.
No, you're not cutting it out. Keep it in, you bastard.
Okay, let's just move down the line. Henry Cavill's out as Superman, guys. Oh, how do you feel about this?
I had no fucking idea that was happening, and honestly, I don't believe it. I don't believe any of this bullshit when
Henry
superhero.
Cavill posted about it himself.
Oh well, I don't believe him.
He said, I was in meetings for months where they were talking about if they were gonna let me be Superman or not in the next part of their DC universe or whatever.
Did you know the last thing he was in?
Shazam?
Nope.
What do you mean then? You mean Justice League? Like a movie where he was actually like signed on to be a main character?
If he is really done, that really confuses me why they chose to do something with him recently. Yeah, I'm going to give you a spoiler for something.
I mean, I already know the spoilers. Or not for Shazam, Black Adam.
Yeah.
I said Shazam I meant Black Adam. Yeah, I know he was in Black Adam, but like... I don't know.
You really don't think he's going to be in Black Adam 2, which is guaranteed to come out? Let's be real. It was amazing. It might even win an Oscar.
I don't think he's going to be back. Like, all right.
Who, The Rock or Henry Cavill?
Henry Cavill.
You think The Rock's going to be back too?
I think they'll take... Hell yeah, dude. They're not giving up The Rock.
No, but I mean like Black Adam in general. Do you think it's going to be lucrative enough?
I mean, I didn't see it, but I'm sure everyone else loved it. So
I thought it was pretty entertaining, a really good popcorn flick.
Yeah, I'll watch it and probably be like, I should have watched this before, but...
It's kind of like the same way when you like want to sit down and be like, you know, I'm just going to like have some popcorn and watch fucking Transformers. I don't know why, but I'm in the mood for some mindless action.
Right, yeah. No, I get you. So I will eventually get around to watching Black Adam, but as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Henry Cavill's like, yeah, like I'm taking my time to mourn about it, but don't worry, Superman's still alive and all this stuff, you know, there will be another person to don the cape.
Michael B. Jordan.
No. No, whatever. Yeah, I mean, he can do it, but
wow, you got a problem with Michael B. Jordan?
No,
Superman?
I don't have a problem with Michael B. Jordan's Superman.
Is there a certain particular reason you don't want Michael B. Jordan to be Superman?
No, I love Michael B. Jordan.
You don't like Creed?
I fucking hate Creed.
Really?
No, I just never watched it.
Okay.
I was never a big Rocky guy. Like, I mean, I've seen, I think, the first Rocky movie, but I don't know. I was never a big boxing guy, so...
Okay.
But, I mean, I could probably watch it and be like, all right, this movie's pretty badass, or whatever.
Okay.
Or whatever that movie is, but... Yeah, so, I definitely... Maybe if Zack Snyder does something in the DC universe again, maybe they'll get Henry Cavill back. But
why would that be the thing to convince him?
Because
did he like Zack Snyder's directing that much?
Listen, people hate on Zack Snyder and like they think he's a bad director. I think he's a really good director.
I don't think he's a bad director. I just think he can't make a fucking story cohesive to save his life. Like, it seems like everyone who worked with him, from what you see, loves working with him. Like, you know what I mean? It's like working with someone in like the workplace. From that perspective, it seems like he's a super wholesome and nice guy to work with. But like, as far as like the writing table and like what makes it in, it's like, it's just a fucking mess.
Yeah, I mean, Zack Snyder has said this before, where he's like, I'm prone to, if the visuals outweigh the story, I will do more visuals than the story. So, and I like that in some sense, because I do kind of, I'm not that like I do that my directorial style, but if you could have like a solid looking vision, or not even vision, but just like the way you storyboard and making it look like a fucking painting every time, I think looks dope. And that's something that I want to adapt myself. So, I don't know.
You should make a collab with Michael Bay. Be like 300 with Transformers. Dude, the Transformers come to Earth during Spartans at their prime.
Listen, I think if Zack Snyder and Michael Bay come together, someone's kissing. They're kissing each other.
Oh, yeah. The characters are kissing. They're kissing. Maybe fucking Leonidas is inside Optimus Prime getting some roadhead.
Fair enough. It's okay, Leonidas. My mouth is supple yet soft.
Spartans roll out.
All right.
Oh, God, that was terrible on so many levels.
We got two more things to get through, guys. Trust me. Just keep going with us. Wonder Woman 3 got
Again,
canceled.
sober.
Yeah, we're completely sober. Wonder Woman 3 got canceled. Doesn't shock me in the very least, considering I didn't like Wonder Woman 2.
Oh, yeah. Wonder Woman 2 was hot garbage. I'm sorry. Not to be like super negative, but it was really bad. I'm sorry.
I don't know what they were trying to do there, but like, I don't know why I liked Wonder Woman 1 a lot. How about you? Like, did you like the first one?
I thought it was really enjoyable.
Like,
yeah.
I liked it story-wise. I mean, I think the ending's a little off, but, you know, where it does turn into a CGI fire battle, but
I don't mind.
I like those battles.
I don't mind the super over-the-top battle at the end. Some people said they couldn't handle the goofiness of the dude's face underneath the helmet.
Oh, I don't mind.
That didn't bother me that much. If anything, what pulled me out of the immersion the most at the end of Wonder Woman, the original, was when Steve Trevor dies and Diana lets out this horrible, like, Gal Gadot was really trying to go for passionate, like, scream of distress, but it was really corny and didn't land. She's just, no.
That's fair. I know they've done this before, where on Justice League, you remember when Superman comes out of the birthing chamber and she's like, Kal-El, no.
Yeah.
So in the Joss Whedon cut, excuse me.
Kal-El, no.
Kal-El, no. And then in the Zack Snyder cut, there's a completely different take of it, of her doing it a lot better. And I'm like, why didn't you look through all the takes? Like, you're like, this was the better take?
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like that's almost laziness on their part.
It's such a minor, yet such a distracting thing, that moment in any TV show or movie, when it's time to let out the really, like, emotional cry and it doesn't land.
If you can't, like, show that you're vocally distressed, then I wouldn't do it, you know? Some people don't do that, you know? Some people are ugly criers, like Tobey Maguire.
Oh, he's
Let
amazing.
them ugly cry, you know? Because it looks cool. At least, you know, he is fucking emoting.
He's just himself, man.
For real. All right. And all right. Next thing, last thing of news is live action My Hero Academia. I know a little bit of stuff about this. Netflix has the rights to it or whatever, right?
Yeah. So it's Netflix taking another stab at burying another anime franchise with a live action. Like, what number are they on now? What were the ones that have released? It's Cowboy Bebop. They released another live action already, haven't they?
Death Note they have.
Oh, yeah. So it started with Death Note, Cowboy Bebop. both trashed. I only watched Death Note, to be honest. I've only seen clips of Cowboy Bebop, and it looks so bad. I don't even think I could have watched it. Maybe I'll watch it and review it. But yeah, so 2 that already tanked in reviews. They confirmed after that now they're doing a One Piece and Yu Yu Hakusho live action.
Oh, okay.
You'd probably be familiar with One Piece, maybe not Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Yu Yu Hakusho is a little bit of an old school iconic shonen series.
Okay.
So there's that, and then I don't know if there's anything between that, but then they also confirmed again My Hero Academia recently, which God help us.
Yeah, listen, there's a reason that show I think that show shouldn't be adapted, and it's because, well, all right. So when I've seen most live action shows, or at least I feel like a lot of them try and get Japanese, but I feel like the Netflix shows haven't tried to do that as much, which I mean is fine because, not everyone has to be, I guess, Japanese in the shows, but they are based in Japan, they are based in Japan,
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit weird. I think Attack on Titan, gets away with it a little bit, even though they did do it as all Japanese actors and actresses live action.
That one bugs me because that's the one that you should have whitewashed.
Yeah, that's
well, not to say whitewashed because it's always a negative connotation, but like the whole cast of Attack on Titan in the anime, only 2 of them are Japanese. Only 2 are Asian. And then they went full on Japanese for the movie, the live action. And I'm like, this is the one time you don't have the full Asian cast, or at least you should.
So like I want them to do that. Like I want them to have like a full Japanese cast too,
Yeah.
But for My Hero Academia. But again, it's like you are then gonna have to start. I feel bad about saying this, but you have to give them the green hair. You have to give them the blonde hair. You have to make them look like the characters,
They don't. I don't know
and I feel like they don't try enough,
I don't know what it is about Japanese live action movies and shows. Whenever there's a blonde character, especially if it's an anime adaptation, they never dye their hair. They always give them a blonde wig, and it always never looks right. Like, I just thought of this too. Netflix, another anime adaptation they did was Full Metal Alchemist. They did a live action. I think it was just a movie. I don't know how the reception for it was. I watched it. It was okay. But like the lead character, I don't know if they're Japanese in Full Metal Alchemist. I think it's more like a Europe thing. But they still do a Japanese cast. And the main character is this Japanese guy that they just put a long blonde wig on, and it looks fake as fuck. It looks so distracting and bad the entire time. And I'm like, just dye his hair. Like, it looks so bad to just have a cheap wig, especially like a long flowing blonde fake looking wig.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. Cause like, I don't know. It is also that like really hard line to walk as well, because
all I can think is the fact that they 100% would fuck up Bakugo's hair.
Oh, guaranteed.
Oh, like again, like they could just dye his hair blonde, make it spiky in maybe like a 90s to 2000 frosted tips sort of way, like a grunge.
Yeah.
But like they 100% will not do that. It's gonna be a corny ass blonde wig or some shit.
Yeah. And do you think they're gonna get a lot of American actors for this?
I don't know. I wonder, with All Might's connection to America and the show, if they'd have a decent amount of American cast members.
That's also the thing, is he was a Japanese hero that went over to America, and that's how he started getting recognized.
They could do the heavy rewrite bullshit where he's just like, they're in America and he's America's icon.
I guess, but again,
that's just Superman then, though.
Yeah, that's, and sorry about this, but there is also a character like that for America in My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
but I don't think they've ever talked about it yet in the show. So
no, they have not.
But yeah, there is a character kind of like that. That is like completely just stars and stripes kind of bullshit.
A Homelander.
A Homelander, if you would. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see how it all turns out. Cause by these standards of how most live action adaptations of animes have went, they've all went really bad to just okay.
I'm trying to think of any that are genuinely good. I didn't watch Ghost in the Shell.
I don't know if that one was even.
It's a movie. It's a American-made movie with Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I remember. I just haven't seen the anime, so like, I probably should, but like,
I'm thinking Netflix one day will be ballsy enough to maybe go for Akira live action. Because that
would be awesome.
Because for like years, it's been passed around from different directors and different studios to make it a live action. And I think the biggest issue was that the rewrites of making it whitewashed. So like for the longest time, it's been like passed back and forth of like how to subtly do the whitewashing, but just no one's really vibed with it because they're trying to change it from like Tokyo. Is it just called Tokyo 1 or something?
Yeah.
In Akira, they were going to make it like LA 1 or something like that, like in America. But I think just no writer/directors ever vibed with it yet. I think the last person who had the rights to it was Leonardo DiCaprio's production studio. And then he was going to get like Taika Waititi to direct.
Okay, fair enough.
Because Leonardo DiCaprio, I guess, is super into anime. And he does have his own production studio. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's been passed around back and forth. And then like he got supposedly Taika Waititi to talk to him about it. And he said he was going to rewrite it, obviously. But I don't know if they're still doing the America version. And I think the biggest thing he was saying was that he was going to change it to be a blend of the manga and the anime, because the manga and the anime end differently, I think.
Okay.
So he was gonna like fuse the two stories of what parts and bits and pieces he liked from both.
That's cool.
Because the production of Akira is weird, because they were writing the manga, it didn't finish, then they made the movie, made their own ending for it because the manga wasn't done, and then they finished the manga differently from the movie.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah. I might have to go and figure out what the ending of the manga is then.
I kind of want to read Akira. It's super interesting to me.
Yeah, no, I dug the story. I thought it was a little slow starting out, but once you get invested into the story, it's like, yes, I want to see. Yeah. I want to see this crazy mind battle or whatever.
Also,
telekinesis battle.
Is his name Tetsuo, the evil one?
I think so.
Or is he the one that we're kind of viewing as the audience?
I forget.
So I think it might be Tetsuo who's the villain, but like, I love the super like dark superhero aesthetic that go with it, where he takes like a fucking just piece of cloth and wears it like a cape, and then he starts being everyone's savior as he's just everyone's quote unquote savior as he's like just annihilating everything in front of him. And then there's like the really sick fight scene between him and I think maybe Kameda is the name of the one that rides the bike, and it's meant to be the viewer, so it's like him facing Tetsuo in like the junkyard. Remember, he's got the giant cannon.
Yep.
And they're like doing a one-on-one. That was a badass fight scene.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, I love that movie. It's a badass movie.
It's one of those movies where it's like, I have no fucking clue what's happening, but I dig it.
Yes, that's the whole vibe, though. Like, by the ending, like, and you're just seeing all these visuals and, like, trippy shit happen.
Dude, that's for real, like, me when I'm watching the end of fucking Evangelion. You need to watch that. That's
another one I need to watch,
You need to fucking watch Evangelion. I'm not to be that guy. I mean, it sort of resurfaced in popularity again when it went to Netflix, but... Well, it went to Netflix and then they redubbed it with a different cast, and that was like a controversy thing that made it kind of blow up again. Mm-hmm. But like Evangelion is just like super weird cosmic lore-y like shit that I don't fucking understand it, but it's awesome. But yeah, it definitely gives me that like Akira vibe of like, I don't know what's happening, but it's pretty sick.
Right, yeah. No, I feel the same way about that. Okay, I think Are we time to review? Is it time to review Adam West's Batman?
I guess so. I almost forgot that we were doing that. I did forget we were doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just watched Adam West's Batman. Well, we both seen it before, but we just decided, fuck it.
Yeah.
Turn it on. Let's give it a rewatch after quite a few years, and it was something.
Dude, I don't think I've ever laughed at a movie that old. Like, usually you think of like movies and they're like cheesy, and you'll giggle at them or whatever. But there was just some stuff in this movie that just made me fucking laugh.
The best one was one of the Riddler's riddles. You still have that written down somewhere? Because that shit's great. They just have.
Yeah. All right. I got it pulled up. What weighs 6 ounces, sits in a tree, and is very dangerous? A sparrow with a machine gun. Like.
And their response after it, they're like, of course.
That's the only thing it could be.
Yes, it makes sense, Batman. Of course, Robin.
And so, all right, I love the way they detect. Like, they do their detecting in this movie, because most of it is just solving riddles and then doing some button pushing on some things in their back cave.
Yes.
But it's just solving riddles and then finding the most completely outlandish answer for the riddle and then combining every answer to the riddle to then create some more stupider bullshit that's like Joker, Penguin, Catwoman, Riddler. They're all in it together.
There is not a single... Well, I shouldn't say not a single. Every once in a while, they'll throw a riddle that actually makes sense. Mm-hmm. But let's be real. Nearly every single thing in this movie is them drawing their own damn conclusions that they just want to be their own conclusions. And then they just say, yes, that is the answer because that's what we want it to be.
Precisely, Robin.
Yeah. So we think Joker, Penguin, Riddler, and Catwoman are all working together. So the answer to this riddle is Cat, Joke, Penguin. They're all working together. And the riddle was slightly humorous, so Joker's involved too.
It is oh man. And it also brings up another point that I just wrote down, which was, why are people in this universe just so dense?
Oh yeah.
I don't understand.
Like a penguin who bought a submarine under the alias of P-Ang-Gwen.
and the guy who sold it didn't put two and two together. Like,
Batman at the end of that call was so disappointed, and not only in just him, the man who sold the sub to Penguin, but he just had a look of defeat of where humanity has gone.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is how it's gonna end.
Yep, so this is how the world ends. Not with a bang, but with a dehydrator gun.
Oh, man. All right. What even is the plot of this movie, man?
It's Joker, Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman forming an alliance to hold captive all the world's leaders. Or I don't even know if they're leaders. I think it's just like senators from around the world.
Yeah.
So they do this by using a contraption, a device called a dehydrator gun, which their genius ploy to keep all these world senators captive is to take this dehydrator gun and shoot it at them, therefore taking all the hydration out of their bodies, making them a pile of dust, which they put into vials that they bring back to their submarine, their armored submarine, and threaten their lives in order for ransom, which I think is like a fucking $1 billion or something that they just throw out there.
You know what I just realized? They would have probably gotten away with this plan if they didn't try and kill Batman in the beginning of this movie. Because so the beginning of this movie starts out with like a yacht or something is like traveling through Gotham Harbor, some shit like that. And I don't know why, but then Batman and Robin are like, we gotta go investigate this or whatever. So they start lowering Batman to this ship, and then the ship just disappears, and Robin drops him in the water, and a shark just grabs onto his Batman's leg.
Yeah, then he uses the iconic bat shark repellent.
The bat shark repellent is the shit, man. But apparently the shark had a mine in it. So that means it was something. That means Penguin shoved a bomb down this shark. It was planning on killing Batman with it. All right, first off, you're gonna kill Batman. That's probably not the way to go about it.
It's very elaborate. Like, what are the odds that Batman would be in the water and a shark would be there?
Right? Like, so that means you also then had to hide this fake yacht or whatever. And I don't know, man. Once you start really thinking about that, it's like they could have just won if they didn't do that.
Yeah, because Batman didn't even know any villains were involved. Why did they attempt to kill him? And then they just involved him in their scheme.
Right? Like,
I think it was meant to be like extra insurance. Let's make sure that Batman doesn't catch us because he'll eventually catch on to us and what we're doing. Mm-hmm. But like, why preemptively involve him?
Right? You're just asking for trouble at that point. You're asking for a good sock and a biff. Oh, yeah. But I mean, was there any other cool moments? I mean, the Batcopter was cool.
There was the... when Robin splits off in the Bat go-kart, or like his little go-kart.
Yes, dude. Like deploying little go-kart, and then he just shoots off from the little Bat bike.
They really made sure that we got to see like all the Bat vehicles. Mm-hmm. I like especially when he makes Alfred ride the Batmobile for a little bit undercover. So Alfred's just riding the Batmobile, which by the way doesn't have like a sealed hood or like tinted windows. It's straight up like you just see Alfred in the Batmobile, but he's just wearing a just around the eye mask. It's just Alfred in the Batmobile, clear as day.
Like I don't know why people didn't put two and two together at that point, but it's like it brings. So I used to watch this old like Lego stop motion Batman animations.
Yeah.
And they were comedic.
Oh, I used to watch those all the time as a kid. Where they just swear the whole time. Yep.
And I remember one time where he's like, "It's a shame you're completely useless, Robin." And he's like, "Well, screw this. I better go take out these two jokers." And he's like, "I brought backup. Don't worry." And he's like, "Alfred." It's like, "I introduced to you, old man." And he's not cut out for it. He's not even like in anything.
It's just a corpse.
Oh, man. So that's what that reminded me of. I was like, you're really going to put your butler on the line?
Don't fuck with Alfred, man. You ever read the Injustice comics? He beats the shit out of Superman.
No, you don't fuck around.
No.
I remember in the Batman versus the Predator comic, he comes out
iconic.
with one of those old blunderbusters, like the really big open ones, and just bang, just sends him flying.
You know, there's Predator versus Spider-Man going on right now.
Really?
Yeah, I bought the first issue because I'm like, holy shit, I need to fucking read that shit. And apparently it's just meant to tease you for the fight later to come because there's no goddamn Predator in it. The cover looks so badass. It's Predator like over like a manhole and Spider-Man's like flipped. He's like in the sewer, like upside down in the sewer. It's like this awesome parallel. And the whole comic is just the Vulture pissed off attacking Spider-Man, and that's the whole comic issue. And I'm like, oh, where's Predator?
Well,
it's a cool fight between Vulture and Spider-Man. Like, he just, like, takes him up into the sky too high for him to, like, sling his webs from anything. And he's like, I'm going to just beat the shit out of you with my claws and kill you, like, way up here above the clouds. But there's no Predator in it. Maybe I'll have to find the next issue and see when he shows up. But
yeah, for sure.
I want to see Predator versus Spider-Man. I feel like it'd be like a Predator 2 vibe.
Right.
Where it's like, he's in a new kind of jungle. The concrete jungle.
The concrete jungle. Yeah, but if you like that, go read the Batman versus the Predator comic. It is really good. Like that's one of. I was like, damn, this is one of the best verses ever.
You ever seen Alien versus Predator versus Judge Dredd the comic?
No, but that sounds insane.
It's a thing. There are multiple issues for it, apparently.
No, guaranteed. Three main characters, you gotta have multiple issues.
Triple
for
crossover for
Yeah.
the fucks of it.
For real. Oh my. But yeah.
I fucking. Do you have something to finish off with that?
No, I
Wes?
just noticed we're getting off track.
No, I was segueing into just
Okay.
random ass. I have a thing where I love crossover comics, like really absurd
Okay,
crossovers. What is probably your favorite crossover that you've ever seen, whether it's just absurd or actually enjoyable?
I like when have you heard of Amalgam Comics?
No.
So that's when they put when they mix two superheroes.
Oh, you're talking
together.
about when they fuse them like Batman and
Yeah.
Wolverine and then the Sabretooth and the Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucked with those. I thought those were really cool, but I guess those
Yeah.
are not really like versus or team. But I mean, I guess I did like Superman versus Spider-Man.
If you
When-
have, yeah.
Whatever that, I don't remember when that was, but I just remember Spider-Man just punching him in the face and breaking his hand.
There's one I had years ago, and I regret giving it to like a friend, like in a comic trade or something. And I want to see if I can find it again. I think it's worth a lot now, though. It's Lobo versus the Mask.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, and that's like the comic Mask where he's like really violent and not funny. Well, he's funny, but you know what I mean, really morbid. But yeah, that was a good one. That and like I always loved Batman Spawn. Other than there are two Batman Spawn crossovers. One of them is like I think Frank Miller style.
All right.
And the other one, I don't know who the fuck the artist was, but he was. It's so ugly. It's so hard to like look at while you're trying to read it. Also, just like the story makes no sense. It doesn't feel like a Batman comic, and it doesn't feel like a Spawn comic. But absurd crossovers, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I think there was even like a Hulk Batman crossover.
Oh yeah, my friend gave me one time where this is probably one of the most obscure comics I have, where it's the Suicide Squad and the Banana Splits.
What even is the Banana Splits?
You remember like Boomerang original shows?
Okay, yeah.
So Banana Splits was an original show on Boomerang where it was like a cast of colorful characters of like animal characters, and they lived in a theme park. But it was also kind of weird because they would cut between animated and then like live action of like them in like mascot costumes like in the theme park.
Okay.
But essentially it's just a crossover between the Banana Splits cast and the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
No fucking clue why. They're also
Fair enough.
they're bringing back the Banana Splits as a horror movie.
Oh.
Kind of the
alright.
same way that they're doing like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. You've heard of that, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Oh, that's gonna be awful.
Dude, so bad. I don't.
We could technically make a Winnie the Pooh movie.
We could.
It's now public domain.
Yeah.
I think Christopher Robin is the only one that they kept the right. Oh, no, did they? They only kept the rights to Tigger. They got rid of all the rights to Winnie the Pooh cast and said, "Go ahead, public domain. We just want Tigger."
That's fair. I like Tigger.
I think realistically, when I was little, I loved Tigger too, and he sold the most merch of any of the characters. I think somewhere in the early 2000s, it just like blew up that he was the only one kids cared about.
Yeah, that's fair. Man, how are we talking about Winnie the Pooh now? We were talking about Batman. Okay.
Good segues, man.
Amazing segues. All right. I think we should. What are we doing on time?
A little over an hour, but I mean, we cut out the 9/11 content. And
Oh yeah, you cut that stuff out. Yeah.
I don't know how much of that is actually.
I'll figure it out, man.
Debatably, we'll figure it out. We have to cut out.
Yeah, don't worry. But I guess what is your conclusion on the Batman movie?
Oh, we still wanted to finish that.
We probably should. We can't just jump off.
You want me to rate it?
Yeah.
Out of what? What are we saying? Out of like a 10?
Yeah, let's just do out of 10.
I think it's good. It's pretty funny, really campy, which it's obviously going for. I think if anything, its only downside is it's too long.
It is a long ass movie.
It is a really long movie.
Like, I'm pretty sure we got distracted, started talking, just having a conversation.
Yeah.
Went back to the movie, and we're like, oh, nothing's really changed.
No, nothing really did. You can kind of like literally turn your brain off for about 20 minutes, come back, and the movie's still what you remembered.
Yeah, so
I'd say maybe like, is a 6 too low?
I would say a solid 6 is not.
6 out of 10?
I would say a 6 out of 10, 6.5.
Because, I mean, it's not like there's anything wrong with the plot or it's like mildly boring. Like I said, runtime is a little too long, but for the most part, it's pretty entertaining, campy humor.
Yeah, it has that good balance of, nah, it's just all comedy, let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, it's all slapstick.
Oh, man. One of my favorite things. Oh, I think we should bring this up because I really dug it. When Batman finds out that Kitka is Catwoman.
Oh, yeah.
His look of defeat. Like, dude, he just stared off into nothing for like a minute.
He got catfished.
He was like, damn, I really got fucked over here. And then Robin's like, Batman, no, Robin.
No, Robin.
We can't reveal anything to the enemy.
And like his heart is just breaking inside.
He's like he is emotionally damaged at that point.
Nirvana starts playing, just something in the way.
Truthfully,
that needs to be like an edit where he looks like super defeated like that, and it starts playing. Something in the way.
Okay, listen. I will leave that as a treat for y'all at the end of this video. I'll find the clip and I'm gonna put Nirvana to it and I'm just gonna make it crazy. That'll be your little treats.
All right. Well,
if I don't get copyrighted for it. So
a high chance. We're not giving any guarantees. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh man. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, we could always talk about 2 buildings. You know, certain couple of buildings. They may be there. They may not be anymore.
Next time, baby, as Terrence Howard would say.
That's funny because he's not there anymore either. Oh no!
Oh, what does this podcast become?
Honestly, even if we keep the you know what topics, I feel like it might have to bleep it anyways because that might be inappropriate content.
We'll see. We'll see if we start getting blocked in some countries.
I genuinely, please send me this before we upload it. This one needs some overlooking.
I will. Sure.
This needs some multiple opinions.
All right. I think we're good to end it off here, guys. Guys, please remember to like the video, comment anything down below. What do you guys think of the 60s Batman series and movies? Did you guys think it was campy fun shit, or do you just hate it because it's not your Batman? Also, what do you think about the live action animes? Do you like them? Are there any good gems out there that we don't know about? Like, let us know. And also, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, if you want to check out our channels, Bryce, Cherney, Joescope. And I know you always like to shout out the thumbnail artist. Yeah. I think it's Nekochin is how you say her name. Yeah, shout out to Nekochin and audysusanto would be our artist for channel art. Yeah. Yeah, thank y'all guys for listening. And we'll see you guys next time. Yep. Peace. Deuces.
Holy heartbreak. It's Kitka. Something's in my ass.